Do not miss these 12 items when World War III happens, because missing just one of them is enough to cost you. Many people think they are prepared, but when everything collapses, power loss, water loss, systems shut down, no communication, no information, that is when they realize they are missing the most important thing. And the scary part is, that thing is usually not what you think. It is not expensive, not rare, but something you have seen before and never prepared. Especially item number 7. This is what most people overlook until they need it, and there is no way to fix it. 12. Flashlight. When World War III happens, when the power grid is disrupted on a large scale, everything is not just dark, but immediately dangerous. No streetlights, no light from homes, and in many areas in the United States, one wrong step in the dark can cost you. That is why a flashlight is not a convenience item, but a must-have in any survival list. Its role is clear, helping you move safely, find essential items, and control your surroundings when you cannot see anything. In real situations, you do not just need one flashlight, but a strategy for using light. Prioritize LED flashlights to save battery and extend usage time, and always prepare at least 2 light sources, one primary and one backup. When power loss lasts, light is no longer a convenience, but what determines whether you can act or not, because you cannot repair, cook, or even just walk if you cannot see. The value of a flashlight in WW3 is not in the item itself, but in how it helps you avoid risk before it happens. In an environment without medical services, not getting injured is far more important than treatment. A common mistake is having only one flashlight in the house and thinking that is enough. But in reality, when you need it most, it may run out of battery, break, or not be near you. The consequences of lacking light do not happen immediately, but are extremely serious. You take one wrong step in the dark, slip, break a leg, or suffer a serious injury, and immediately lose the ability to move. Even a small cut can become infected when there are no conditions to treat it, and after a few days, your body begins to weaken. You cannot see obstacles, but more importantly, you cannot see danger approaching you, whether it is the environment or other people in the dark. In a world without electricity, without support, and without control, just one small injury is enough to trap you and take away your chance of survival. In the dark, you do not see danger, but danger sees you. If war happens tonight, do you have enough light to not be the first to pay the price? 11. Lighter. This is what creates fire. And in survival, fire is the foundation of everything. On the first night without power, you have food but cannot cook. You have water but do not dare to drink it. And that is when you realize the problem is not that you lack resources, but that you have no way to use them. A lighter at this moment is no longer a small tool, but something that determines whether you can maintain your body. Because without fire, you cannot boil water to kill bacteria, cannot cook food for your body to absorb, and cannot keep warm when night falls, especially when your body is weakening due to lack of energy. Real use is not when needed. You take it out, but you must prepare in advance. Always have at least 2 to 3 lighters. Do not keep them in the same place. One in your backpack, one in your jacket pocket, one in your emergency kit. And most importantly, keep them completely dry, because just moisture or a strong impact can make you lose your only fire source. In reality, I once tried to start a fire when the wood was slightly damp, and there was only a light wind and still failed after nearly 20 minutes. While with a lighter, it would only take a few seconds. The value of a lighter during a power outage changes completely. Money does not help you cook, does not help you get clean water, but a lighter can. And in a crisis, it becomes something you can trade for food, water, or help, because everyone needs fire, but not everyone has it. A common mistake is thinking you can create fire when needed, or assuming having a gas stove at home is enough. But when the system stops working, the gas does not ignite, or you have to move outside. You will realize you have no way to create fire quickly and reliably. The consequence is that you are forced to drink untreated water, and even a mild infection can cause diarrhea and rapid dehydration. Eating raw food makes your body unable to absorb enough energy, and when night falls, you continuously lose heat, especially for older people. After just a few days, the body will clearly weaken, not because of lack of food, but because of lack of fire to turn what you have into something your body can use. In a prolonged power outage, those with fire will maintain strength, while those without will weaken day by day until they can no longer protect themselves. If the power goes out completely tomorrow, do you have at least 2 lighters ready? 10. Batteries, you don't know what is happening, but you still have to decide. Your phone is off, no signal, no internet, no updates. In the first few hours, you still think it will come back soon. You wait, you stay still, you don't move. That is your first decision, and you don't know if it is right or wrong. Meanwhile, outside, everything is still changing. An area becomes dangerous. A route is blocked. A warning is issued, but you receive nothing. You don't know if you are in the right place or the wrong place. You don't know whether to stay or leave, and the most dangerous part is not that you lack light, but that you have no information to make decisions. The survival role of batteries is not about convenience, but about keeping you from becoming blind to information. A battery can keep a flashlight running so you can move in the dark, keep a radio on so you can hear alerts, and in many cases, it is the only power source you can control when the entire system has collapsed. When the grid is gone, batteries are not backup. They are everything left between you and uncertainty. When you have no other choice, you must use batteries strategically. You cannot waste them on high-consumption devices. You must prioritize what keeps you informed. Radio, LED lights, devices that help you observe and understand the situation. Just knowing information earlier than others, you can move one step ahead. The trap is thinking your phone is enough. But when the battery runs out and there is no way to recharge, that phone becomes useless. You still hold it, but it gives you no information, and you continue making decisions in a state of guessing. The consequence does not come immediately, and that is what makes it dangerous. You keep moving, still think you are fine, until you realize you are in the wrong place or stayed when you should have left earlier. One wrong decision does not kill you right away, but in a fast-changing environment. Just one mistake is enough to leave you with no chance to fix it. In survival, you do not lose because of lack of energy. You lose because you do not know what is happening until it is too late. If all signals disappear tomorrow, do you have enough batteries to avoid making decisions in the dark? 9. Water filter. This is what turns dirty water into something you can drink, and in WW3, it determines whether you survive or collapse in just a few days. The stored water in your house is almost gone. Your throat starts to dry. Thirst is no longer discomfort, but becomes constant pressure. And eventually, you find a water source outside. It could be a stream, a puddle of rainwater, or a flow of water that looks quite clear. But you stand there and hesitate, because you do not know if it is safe to drink. This is the moment many people realize for the first time that in WW3, the problem is not finding water, but making sure that water does not kill you. The survival role of a water filter is very clear. It removes bacteria, parasites, and harmful agents, turning unsafe water into something your body can use. When water treatment systems stop working, all natural water sources must be considered risky, no matter how clean they look. In real situations, you do not have the luxury of choice. You will have to use any water source you can access, from river water, rainwater, to imperfect sources. And that is when a water filter becomes the only thing standing between you and risk. If possible, combining filtering with boiling increases safety, but in many situations, just having a filter alone is already the difference between life and death. A common mistake is trusting your eyes, thinking clear water is clean water, but most bacteria and parasites are invisible. You will not know you are wrong until your body starts to react. The consequences do not come immediately, but come quickly and are very hard to control. You drink contaminated water. A few hours or a day later, you start having diarrhea. Your body continuously loses water while you have no clean source to replace it. And this cycle weakens you rapidly. After just a few days, you can be completely exhausted. Not because of lack of food, but because your body can no longer retain water. In survival, you can go without food for weeks, but without clean water, your body will collapse in a few days. In a WW3 world, a water filter is not a convenience. It is the line between controlling your survival or losing it. If you are forced to drink water from outside tomorrow, do you have a way to make sure it does not kill you? 8. Salt, you do not die from hunger first. You weaken first. In the first days, you still have food. You eat less, but still enough to continue. You think everything is fine, just a bit tired. You do not realize the problem is not the amount of food, but what your body is no longer receiving. Salt. You start feeling tired faster than usual. Your body feels heavy. Your head feels slightly dizzy when you stand up. You think it is from lack of food, lack of sleep, or stress. You keep ignoring it because there are no clear signs. That is how your body begins to lose balance. The survival role of salt is not to make food taste better, but to keep the body functioning properly. It helps maintain electrolytes, retain water in the body, and support muscles and the nervous system. When you lose salt, you do not collapse immediately. You weaken gradually, and that is the most dangerous part. You still move, still work, but slower, weaker, less responsive. When you have no choice, you will have to eat whatever you can. But if you have no way to retain salt or replenish it, your body will not be able to use what you eat effectively. You eat, but you do not recover. The trap is thinking eating is enough. But in reality, lacking salt does not hurt you immediately. It makes you decline slowly without you noticing. The consequences do not come right away, and that is why it is dangerous. You start to feel dizzy when standing up. Your muscles weaken. You lose strength faster, and in an environment where you need to move and react quickly, being just a little weaker is enough to make you fall behind the situation. You do not collapse from hunger. You collapse because your body no longer functions properly. In survival, the problem is not whether you have food, but whether your body can use what you eat. If tomorrow you still have food, but your body can no longer maintain strength, what will you do? 7. Pain relievers. This is not just medicine, but what helps your body keep functioning when everything starts working against you. If right now you had a high fever or pain so severe you could not stand, and there was no hospital, no doctor, what would you do? Or would you realize too late that you are missing something very basic? Pain relievers. In a WW3 scenario, when the medical system is overwhelmed or stops working, Small issues like headaches, fever, or mild inflammation are no longer simple. They can quickly take away your ability to survive. The role of medicine at this point is not just to reduce symptoms, but to keep your body stable enough to continue moving, thinking, and handling situations. When your body starts to weaken, you are not only tired, but also lose focus. Your reactions slow down, and that is when risk begins to increase. When you have no other choice, you will have to manage your condition with what you have. Basic types like ibuprofen or acetaminophen are easy to find in normal times, but when a crisis happens, they disappear very quickly. You do not need to carry anything complicated, but lacking these simple medicines can cost you heavily. In reality, just a fever lasting a few hours without medicine can put your body into a sluggish state, losing focus, almost unable to do anything effectively. The value of medicine in WW3 is not in its price, but in how it replaces an entire medical system that you can no longer access. When there is no doctor, no hospital, a small pill may be the only thing that helps you control your condition before it gets worse. The trap many people fall into is focusing only on food and water, while forgetting that health is also a survival factor. They think they can find or buy it later when needed, but when a crisis happens, these are often the first things to disappear. The consequences do not come immediately, but are very clear. A mild fever can drain your strength, but more importantly, you lose the ability to act. You slow down, react worse, make wrong decisions, and in an environment without support, just being one step slower can put you in danger. When your body no longer functions normally, you no longer control what is happening around you. In survival, you do not need to be healthy, but you cannot afford to lose your ability to function. If tomorrow you have a fever or pain so severe you cannot stand, do you have anything ready to handle it yourself? 6. Wet wipes. This is not a convenience item, but what keeps you from introducing bacteria into your body every day. If you do not bathe for a few days, your hands are dirty, your body is covered in sweat, and you prepare to eat with those same hands. Are you still safe? Or are you introducing bacteria into your body just because you lack something very simple? Wet wipes. In a WW3 scenario, when water systems are disrupted, clean water is no longer enough for daily use, and the priority is always for drinking, not washing. And that is when personal hygiene becomes a dangerous issue that many people overlook. The role of wet wipes is not convenience, but keeping your hands clean before eating, cleaning your body, and reducing the risk of infection when there is no water. When you have no choice, you must use whatever method you can to keep your body minimally clean, and just a few wipes can make a very big difference. In reality, you will not have enough water to wash your hands or bathe every day, especially in crowded environments like shelters or gathering areas where bacteria spread very quickly. One infected person can affect many others through simple contact. The trap many people fall into is thinking a little dirt is fine, but the problem is not what you feel. It is the bacteria you cannot see. You eat with dirty hands. Bacteria go straight into your body, and you will not realize it until your body starts to react. The consequences do not come immediately, but come quickly, and are very hard to control. You start having stomach pain, diarrhea, your body loses water while you do not have enough clean water to replace it, and within 1 to 2 days, you weaken clearly. In an unsanitary environment, disease can spread quickly among people around you, and a small issue can turn into a chain of infection. In survival, you not only have to avoid big dangers, but also avoid small mistakes repeated every day. And sometimes, you do not collapse from lack of food or water, but from things you cannot see on your own hands. If tomorrow you have no water to wash your hands, do you have a way to keep yourself from getting infected? 5. Duct tape. You do not realize you are losing things until it is too late. A water bottle falls out of your backpack. A bag of food disappears. You do not hear it, do not see it, and only when you stop to check, everything is already gone. This is how everything starts to collapse. Not loudly, not suddenly, but little by little. Duct tape is not just tape. It is what keeps the important things from slipping out of your hands. When a strap starts to loosen, when a backpack tears, when a tent comes apart, even at one small corner, that is not just damage. It is a sign you are about to lose control. When there are no more stores, no way to replace things, you do not have the option to buy again. You only have one choice: keep what you have working. A roll of tape can patch a tent so you do not get wet in a cold night. Secure a strap so you do not lose water while moving, or fix a bag so nothing falls out behind you. Small failures do not stay small. They spread. A small tear becomes a big one. A weak point becomes a break, and you do not realize it until it happens at the moment you need it most. The trap is thinking it is not a problem yet. But in survival, you do not have the luxury to wait. When it breaks at the worst time. And the consequences do not come all at once. You do not lose everything immediately. You lose things one by one: water, food, shelter, until you no longer have enough to continue. In survival, you do not lose because of one big failure. You lose when small things start slipping away, and you cannot hold on to them. If something in your gear starts breaking right now, do you have a way to keep it from slipping away? 4. Multi-tool knife. A can of food you cannot open is as useless as having nothing to eat. In survival, the problem is not what you have, but whether you can use it. When all systems stop, no services, no stores, everything, even the smallest task, must be done by hand. And if you do not have tools, you will get stuck even with the simplest things. A multi-tool knife is not just a knife. It is the ability to handle situations. Cutting rope, opening cans, fixing things, assembling, handling materials. All of these happen every day, and if you cannot do them, you will slow down. Or worse, you will stop. When you have no choice, you will realize everything requires tools. A rope you cannot cut can hold you back. A can of food you cannot open means you cannot eat. An item you cannot fix will continue to break further. Many people think they can manage with their hands, but in reality, it does not work that way. Without tools, simple tasks become dead ends. And in a survival environment, a dead end is not just frustrating, it is dangerous. The consequences do not come immediately, but they accumulate. You spend more time on each small task, use more energy, and in a fast-changing environment, being one step slower can make you miss a critical moment. Unable to solve a problem leads to being stuck, leads to losing opportunities, leads to increased risk. In survival, you do not need many tools. But if you do not have the right tool at the right time, you cannot do even the most basic things. If everything you need to handle tomorrow must be done by hand, do you have any tool to keep yourself from getting stuck? 3. Soap. You do not die from the wound. You die from what enters through it. A small cut on your hand. Not deep. Not much bleeding. You think it is fine and ignore it. That is how the problem begins. This is not just soap, but what prevents you from dying from things you cannot see. Bacteria, infection, disease. When the medical system no longer works, small things are no longer small. A wound that is not cleaned becomes a place for bacteria to grow. You do not see anything in the first few hours, but underneath, your body starts to react. The role of soap is not just simple cleaning. It is how you stop the problem before it starts. Washing your hands before eating, cleaning a wound as soon as it appears. These small actions are what keep you from falling into a situation you cannot control later. When you have no other choice, you must protect yourself from the environment around you. In crowded, unsanitary places, bacteria does not stay still. It spreads. And once one person is infected, others will follow. The trap is thinking it is just a small scratch, but in reality, it is a weak point. And in survival, weak points do not disappear. They spread. The consequences do not happen immediately, but when they come, you cannot go back. The wound starts to hurt more, swell, the infection spreads, and you gradually lose the ability to use your hand. Simple actions like holding things, moving, or taking care of yourself become difficult. And without medicine, without antibiotics, your body has to fight on its own, and it does not always win. In a WW3 world, soap is not something to keep you clean. It is what keeps a small wound from becoming the reason you collapse. If you get injured tomorrow, do you have a way to stop it from getting worse? 2. Disinfectant or alcohol. A small cut does not kill you immediately, but what enters through it can, and the problem is you will not realize it until it is too late. You see a scratch, not deep, not concerning, you wipe it quickly and move on because in your mind, there is a familiar thought. It is fine. But in an unsanitary, crowded, uncontrolled environment, every time you touch food, objects, or your own body, you are allowing bacteria to enter without knowing it. In the first few hours, nothing happens, and that is exactly what makes you careless. By the next day, the wound starts to hurt slightly, swell a bit, but still not enough to make you stop. You keep using that hand, continue your activities, continue ignoring it. By the time the pain becomes clear, when the wound feels warm, when you start having difficulty gripping, the problem is no longer on the surface. It has gone deeper inside, and you no longer have a proper way to handle it because there is no medicine, no antibiotics, no medical system behind you. The role of alcohol or disinfectant is not to clean for peace of mind, but to stop the problem from the beginning, before you realize you are in danger. Just a small amount, at the right time, can prevent bacteria from entering. Clean your hands, treat wounds, and keep the situation from getting out of control. In conditions with limited water, this is the fastest way to avoid gambling with your health every time you touch something. The trap is thinking keeping things relatively clean is enough, but bacteria does not need much to start, and in that environment, it does not spread slowly. It spreads silently, and when you realize it, your body has already started to lose. The consequences do not come immediately, but when they come, you cannot go back. The wound swells, hurts more, the infection spreads, and you gradually lose the ability to use your hand, lose control over the most basic tasks. In survival, you do not collapse because of a big injury. You collapse because of small things you chose to ignore. You do not see bacteria, but it is always one step ahead of you. And the question is not whether you will get injured, but when it happens, will you handle it immediately or wait until there is no chance left? 1. Emergency radio. The internet does not disappear gradually. It disappears instantly. And what you lose is not the connection, but the ability to understand what is happening around you. You still hold your phone, but there is no signal, no updates, no news. And in the first few hours, you still think it will come back soon. You wait, you stay, you do not move. That is a decision. Meanwhile, outside, everything is still changing. An area becomes dangerous. A route is blocked. A warning is issued. But you do not receive it. And when you realize you have no information, you are already one step behind others. This is when an emergency radio becomes the line between knowing and not knowing, between being proactive and reactive. Its role is not just to listen, but to maintain situational awareness. What determines whether you should stay or leave, move forward or avoid. When communication systems collapse, phones lose signal. The internet is gone. Radio is one of the very few sources of information that still exist, especially if it runs on batteries or hand crank, not depending on any external system. The trap is believing you are still fine because you have not seen anything happen. But in survival, the problem is not what you see, but what you do not see. You do not know if where you are is still safe. You do not know if the situation is getting worse or already out of control. And you keep staying just because you have no reason to leave. But in reality, you just lack the information to make the right decision. The consequences do not come immediately, and that is what makes it dangerous. You keep moving, still think you are in control, until you realize you are in the wrong place at the wrong time. A wrong decision does not always kill you immediately, but in an unstable environment, it accumulates, and you have no chance to fix it once you have gone too far. In survival, the person who knows earlier is not lucky, but has the advantage. And the one who knows nothing is often the first to pay the price. If all signals disappear tomorrow, do you have a way to know what is happening? Or will you have to guess in a world that does not allow mistakes? In normal times, all of these items are just very ordinary things. Cheap, easy to buy, and almost no one pays attention to them. But when everything collapses, no power, no system, no help, those simple things determine whether you can continue to survive or not. In war, you do not fail because of one big mistake. You fail because of many small things at the same time, and you did not prepare in time. No clean water, you weaken. No light, you make mistakes. No information, you go the wrong way. No tools, you cannot handle situations. And all of that does not happen immediately. It happens gradually until you no longer have a chance to fix it. And if you think these items are enough, they are not. The truth is, many people have all the tools, but still fail just because they lack the right food. In the next video, I will show you 6 types of food you will wish you had stored, not when everything is fine, but when it is too late. So the real question is, if everything stops tomorrow, will you be the one who prepared or the one who realizes too late?